We need to be calling ourselves. You know, we call, like I said, we call ourselves. We went from being niggers when we first got here to Negroes, from Negroes to colored, from colored to black, from black to African American, and now in this new millennium, they might as well call themselves Obamians or whatever. Make up some new title, make up some new mockery, some new byword, some new proverb to call ourselves. But to answer your question as a whole, it's done a very bad thing, because we are the only people on the face of the earth who don't have identities. And I mean, check out Puerto Rican brothers and sisters too. Puerto Rican is not a nationality. It translates to rich port. These people knew our heritage. That's how they know where to come and get us. You know, so I mean, it's done a number on us, but it's done the will of Yah. That's the most important thing. And it's only when we come back to Yah and to doing the will of Yah 100%, that's when these curses will be lifted, and that's when our true identity will be restored to us. And hey, hallelujah.
One major point to note about Deuteronomy 28 and 37 is Yah clearly says we shall become a byword, or we shall become niggers, coons, porch monkeys. Psalms 44 and 13. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbor, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. Psalm 44 and 14. Thou makest us a byword, niggers, coons, among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Look at our behavior today. We have become an outright embarrassment to ourselves and our Father Yah. Our shameful ways make other nations look down upon us in disgust.
I don't want any trouble. Just get out. I can't stand y'all. I feel sorry for your mother.
Andy was going for the fence all the way.
What you say about my mama?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 68. And Yah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, that thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
In Deuteronomy 28 and 68, Egypt is synonymous with oppression, slavery, captivity, and affliction. In Scripture, Egypt is referred to as the house of bondage, the iron furnace of affliction. Egypt was the symbol of hard, severe bondage to the Hebrews. What this verse is saying is this: the children of Israel will go into an Egypt-like, oppressive, powerful, severe slavery in ships. This is exactly how we got to the Americas. We were taken captive from the west coast of Africa and brought to the Americas in the bottom of slave ships. Once we arrived in the West, we were placed on an auction block and sold to the highest bidder. This process happened for over 300 years. This is a historical fact that can't be denied.
Oh, now, see, we have come to it. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68 in the book of Deuteronomy is the last verse in this chapter, and Yah just ties up everything that he has presented in this chapter of Deuteronomy 28, and he ends it by saying, I'm going to send y'all into slavery. If you're disobedient to me, I'm going to send y'all into slavery in ships, and you're going to be sold unto your enemies for male and female slave, and no one will redeem you. Now that's what it means in Deuteronomy 28:68 when it says no one shall buy you. That buy is talking about, is speaking about redemption, because in the book of Leviticus chapter 25 it states that if we are taken into captivity, that one of our next of kin can come and buy us out of that bondage, buy us out of that servitude. So Yah is breaking it down in Deuteronomy 28:68. He's saying, listen, your next of kin, nobody is going to be able to buy you out of this condition, because it is by the hand of Yah, because of our disobedience, because of our breaking of the covenant, that Yah has put us in this tragic situation. So we look to history. What other people? Let's just cut it off to the Western Hemisphere. What group of people in the Western Hemisphere, what other people other than the so-called blacks have been brought here in the hulls of slave ships and sold on auction blocks as slaves?
Isaiah chapter 51 verses 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of fury of Yah, the rebuke of your Almighty.
Isaiah 51:20. The beautiful thing about this scripture is, as it is broken down, the so-called African American would have no problem understanding how this particular scripture fits to him in his history. Isaiah 51 speaks about our sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. Now let's really look at this. Yah said our sons have fainted. What does it mean to faint? When you faint, that means that you fall unconscious. When you are unconscious, you have no idea of what's going on around you. You have no idea of what's taking place in your surroundings because you're unconscious. You have no conscience. So Yah is saying your sons are unconscious. They're spiritually unconscious. He said they lie at the head of all the streets. The head of all the streets today are referred to as the corners. So he's saying that your sons are they have fallen unconscious and they're hanging on the corners. But he won't stop there. He says, as a wild bull in the net. A wild bull in the net, if you've ever seen a rodeo and you've seen when the man rides on the back of the bull starts bucking, that's called buck wild. You put a net on a wild bull, it's going to start bucking like that, it's going to start going buck wild. So Father Yah broke this down and he would give it to you in your modern terminology. Israel, your sons are unconscious, spiritually unconscious. They have no idea what's going on around them. They're hanging on the corners as a wild bull in the net. In other words, going buck wild. When you go out into these corners, brothers and sisters, you understand that these corners are so dense, they're so wild, that you don't want to go walking past them, neither do you want to go riding past them. You go out on a hot summer night, it don't have to be hot. It can be cold. Winter, spring, summer, fall, they are out on the corners packed from night and day.
They don't have any idea of who they are. They have no idea about the covenant, and they have no idea about Yah, the Almighty. They have no consciousness of Yah.
Do y'all know who the children of Israel is? Y'all ever heard that?
We ain't into all that.
Y'all ain't never read the Bible or nothing? Who the children of Israel? Remember when Moses went up on Mount Sinai? Y'all remember that? They can't even get y'all attention. The women got y'all.
That was for Israel, not for us. And I can show you in Ephesians 2:11 and 12 where it says that we wasn't even in that time. We wasn't there. That wasn't us. That wasn't us.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 43 through 44. And the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
The stranger in Scripture always refer to any other nation other than the children of Israel.
Deuteronomy 28, 43 and 44, it says, the stranger who sojourns among you, or who's in your community, they will rise above you, and, they will lend, and, you will borrow. You'll have to go to them for your substance. And I can speak from experience because, I did 7 years in the United States military. I never had nothing so much as a negative counseling statement. And when I got out of the military, I couldn't get a business loan to start my own business. And as a matter of fact, I got a $20,000 severance pay to get out of the military. So I had that plus a business plan and everything, and I still couldn't get it off the ground. So you tell me, does that mean that we're cursed, or does that mean that I just didn't have my I's dotted and my T's crossed?
I'd like to know, why did you choose Harlem as a place to set up your establishment here?
I've been here in Harlem for past 20 years.
20 years? No, but I mean, when you initially came over here, why did you choose Harlem?
I like it.
You like it here? Do you live in Harlem?
No.
You don't live in Harlem? Where do you live?
I live in Long Island.
You live in Long Island? So you said you had this store here for 20 years? You said business is pretty good? Why do you think business is good?
Because people are friendly.
People are friendly? So if you think if you put this store in like Manhattan or something like that, you think you would do just as good? Or you don't think you'll do good in Manhattan as you would here in Harlem? You think you're better off here? Why? Because we like to spend money, don't we? Yeah, that's right.
How you doing there, buddy?
Good, how are you, my man?
I'm doing all right.
JB's, my man.
JB's? Can you state your name?
My name is Tony.
Tony? Tony.
Yes, sir.
Did your name change when you arrived to America?
No, it's still the same.
It's still the same? Your name is Tony in the Middle East?
Yep.
Okay. Who patronizes you the most at this store?
Well, obviously black people, because we're in a black neighborhood here.
Because you're in a black neighborhood, huh?
Yes, sir.
So they spend most of their money with you?
Exactly.
Okay, that's all I need you to know.
Loving it, too.
You loving it? You loving that money from the Hebrews, huh?
Why not?
Why not? Okay.
Could you tell me, sir, who is your number one consumer in this beauty supply store?
We're located in San Bernardino. Have to say African Americans.
Okay. How long you guys been having this business? And
we've been at this location for maybe